Yes. So now there's this big, huge billboard where the king is back. Now, stating that he's the king is that is hip hop lore now. Everybody's the king. But normally, when you state that you're the king, you have a reason to call yourself the king. Notorious B.I.G. I thought was the king, and once the king is deceased, the crown must move on, and that crown was picked up by Jay-Z in New York, especially. Maybe Nas might have a problem with that. Maybe DMX may have a problem with that. But in New York, Puff Daddy, even not even the lyricist, might have a problem with that. But that's the point. Everybody wants to be the king, and financially, Hov was the only one that announced that he was in New York a billionaire, because now Kanye West is considered a billionaire as well. You would have to state that Hov would be the king. So now TEKASHI 6ix9ine, fresh out of prison, he wants to be the king. Now there is numerous individuals in hip hop industry that would love to get a crack at TEKASHI 6ix9ine. Maybe violently, maybe lyrically. They would like to get back to where things were considered real in the art form of hip hop. And with TEKASHI 6ix9ine running around, the realness is no longer there. You understand? I mean, listen, individuals have died for this art form called rap music. Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, Pop Smoke recently, a Nipsey Hussle recently. So the street element is still prevalent in this game called hip hop, and for 6ix9ine to have made it seem like it's just a game, or that what he did should be acceptable, is really rubbing some people the wrong way. Now they might not come out and say it right away, and to be honest with you, if this was a mafioso type of thing, 6ix9ine would have to disappear as in the witness protection program, which was stated by TMZ. Tekashi's taking pictures in front of his home or his new digs, as they stated, and pretty much showing that he still has a bunch of money, that the record labels that supposedly gave him the huge deal while he was incarcerated is real. He's going to make some records, he's going to make videos, and he's going to return back to his life. Now, of course, if you're familiar with the movie Goodfellas, Henry Hill is an individual that supposedly committed crimes, ratted people out, and he didn't go into witness protection program. He welcomed individuals to try him numerous times. Sammy the Bull is another one. Supposedly ratted out John Gotti, came out and lived his life as he wanted to in Arizona or wherever have you. And he did not go into the witness protection program. Some would say that that's a government ploy, where you put bait on the hook and you hope a whale comes by and try to, nibble, per se, lack of a better term again. Tekashi could be that. He could be just the bait that they're putting out there for somebody to come nibble. This is all in my perception of why he would be out here making music, trying to earn a living in a culture that he's actually fouled. I mean, he was the one that did the most disrespectful things to the rest of the industry artists than the guys that didn't get on the microphone, that ended up having to commit the violence that he accused them of, or he testified against them for. They were merely protecting their investment. And their investment thought that being the toughest, baddest thing on the block was the way to go. His music was riddled with references of firearms, violence, and tough guy acts. Yes, that is how some other artists have made their living. They've been gangsters and tough guys, but they would have to do it on their own. They could not. I mean, Tupac did his own gangster lifestyle. You understand? Uh, there was no, there was nobody there to help Tupac Shakur when the bullets came flying. Yes, they were caught on video camera in Las Vegas jumping some gentleman by the name of Orlando. I can't recall his last name at the moment. And that was supposed to have been Tupac's, it was supposed to be retaliation on Tupac for that attack when he was shot in Las Vegas and ultimately died a week later. I'm not saying that there should have been death in the TEKASHI situation or that TEKASHI violence was supposed to have been met on TEKASHI 6ix9ine. What I'm saying is that when you come into a business that operated on legitimacy of being real, that there is an opportunity there that when you talk that violent stuff, that violence do happen. And violence did happen. Like I said, he was, pulverized in Los Angeles before his I don't know if they security. I don't know if they were his partners. I don't know what you would call them because of eventually he turned on them. Eventually he said they turned on him. Again, I can't tell you who's the frog or the scorpion on this in this story. You understand? He said he retaliated on them for what they did to him. They could have felt that he wanted to excommunicate himself from the business deal that they helped build. They built him by being able to protect him for the big mouth, small body that he is. Like, I may need security after this talk up on TEKASHI 6ix9ine. Maybe he does have an authentic 2 million fans out there that support him, that will want to say, hey, David Simonism, go F yourself. And when you're out there delivering your Postmates, be careful. It's all relevant in hip hop. You understand? It's not the Foo Fighters. It's not Green Day. It's not Bon Jovi. It's not Van Halen. Those guys, they did have their antics. They were, wild. Some of them, some of the groups I named, they were recognized as real rock and roll stars. But rarely was there violence incited in their lyrics, and violence incited at their shows, and violence incited in their lifestyle. Unlike what occurs in hip hop. When you get out there and you start talking gangster stuff in hip hop, gangster stuff occurs. Now, anybody that associates with themselves with TEKASHI, I mean, he has an ankle monitor. He shows that as well in his recent photos since his release. And in boasting about his ability to escape prison by, telling on his friends or whoever they were to him. The idea of a TEKASHI career in rap music, it's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And those that want to get involved with him would only try to get involved with him to try to use him as well. Now, if they do that and they actually have dirt in their lives, they would have to be, concerned. I think the only one that can really do music with TEKASHI 6ix9ine and feel safe is Lil Nas X. He looks as clean as they get. Because anyone that would trust him, they don't have to worry about just the microphone in front of them recording them. And he had none of this information that he gave to the government on tape. They took his word for it, that this is what actually occurred. Now everybody's saying that what they would have done if they were in 6ix9ine position. But like I mentioned, the other individuals, Henry Hill, Sammy the Bull, these individuals participated in the crimes that they eventually told on the individual that they said gave the orders or was the head of the organization. It may seem like I'm talking some ridiculousness, but this is the actual reality of the TEKASHI 6ix9ine situation. When you involve the federal government and you involve prison, informant, and all of this, you're talking organized crime. Recently, the baby, earlier this year, late last year, the judge ordered him to be remanded into custody because of several charges. And in these several charges, they mentioned something about him being charged with organized crime. Organized crime. This is music. There was only one person that was known to be involved in organized crime in the early days of music, and that was Frank Sinatra out of Jersey. Big up the Sopranos. Okay? Now, there's been numerous rumors and innuendos about organized crime having some affiliation in music. But not in social media days, not in everybody's got a camera days. There would be nobody associated with crime and music. The government knows everything. You would be actually begging to go to prison. You would involve yourself with organized crime and entertainment outside of being an investor. And hands off. People hire bodyguards and security guards just so that they don't get hurt by the fans. His name's David Chapman, the guy that assassinated John Lennon. I think I got his name right. This is what I'm saying. You music entertainers would hire security to prevent themselves from being attacked from the fans. They were the biggest threats. And that was all changed with TEKASHI 6ix9ine because he was actually, in my opinion, just a fan with a couple of words he put together and some real rugged beats. And he was attacking all of the hip-hop talent that's out there. You know, I don't want this to seem like I'm disparaging his ability to perform or his ability to entertain people, because you know some people like a good book, a good novel, or fiction, and that's what he is now. He is a good book of fiction, but you didn't know he was fiction because he had actual individuals that were not fiction. That actually made the government want to give 40 years out, 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, like it's lunch. You understand? So you can't really say that's fiction, and you can't minimize the importance of that these individuals were charged with crimes of felony A's and felony B's or whatever the felonies were, to earn them that lopsided justice, because the guy that put them out there in that position walked away. And I do it with a smile, but I don't want it to be seen as disingenuous. This is real life issues. That is going to be a book someday that won't be fiction. It'll be an autobiography or biography. It's going to be a movie someday later on down the TEKASHI story. So, he's got to get out there and he's got to make it seem like, he's living a normal life. But Henry Hill never went back to the mob. Sammy the Bull never went back to the mob. Well, Sammy the Bull was later arrested for other crimes that would have been associated with mob tactics, but he never went back to La Costa Nostra. TEKASHI 6ix9ine is actually trying to return to La Costa Nostra. If you don't know what that is, look it up.